Hey everyone, it's Emily with Elevate with Emily. In today's episode, let's talk about attunement. Let's talk about what that means in our relationships with other people. Attunement is more than just mentally listening to someone. It is an all-encompassing experience. It requires your mental, emotional, and physical presence in the present moment. All of those senses focusing in on the person that you are listening to, that is talking to you. This is a skill that is so important to master because it will be the number one important thing you can do when you're raising a family. It will improve your relationship with your spouse and with your kids. I want to take a few moments to dive into the research on attachment and attunement. There is this very awesome video that you can go research on YouTube. It's called the Still Face Experiment. The Still Face Experiment is about a mother and a young child interacting in a room. And the mother's very engaged, right? Pointing at toys, responding to the child's playfulness, engaging in play with the child, all in. And when the researcher snaps his fingers, I actually don't remember what he does, but at some point they give the mom the cue to shut down physically. And so she takes on what we call flat affect, where her affect, her expression, her body language is completely shut down. And so the moment that they snap the fingers, give her the cue, she turns into a still face and stops responding to the child, stops playing with him. When the child, pokes her arm to get her attention, no response. Says something if they're old enough to speak, if not, babbling, whatever, making noise, screaming even. As the time continues to tick on and the mom is not responding, 30 seconds pass, a minute passes, 2 minutes pass, the child gets more and more frantic. Where is my mom? Who is this weird robot, creepy version that kind of looks like my mom? Like, that's not her. Where is my mom? And they will resort to anything to get her attention back, even physical violence, poking, slapping, hitting, because they want that security back of when I need her, she is there. That's what they need to know to survive. And that attachment is something that each of us have for the rest of our life, a need to have people in our life that we can depend on, that will care and be there when we need them. When we have a problem, we know we can feel secure, that we can reach out to them and get a response, and that they will listen, not just with their ears, but mentally, physically, emotionally. They will listen and be there for you. A lot of problems with teenagers and children today is a lack of attunement between parents and children. A lot of parents will tell me, I do everything for my kids. How could they say I'm not there for them? How could you say I don't give them enough attention? I do everything for them. I don't even have any time for myself. And as they describe the ways that they're there for their kids, they start listing behavioral things. I drive them places, I take them shopping, I cook them food, I clean their rooms, I do their laundry. These are all ways that you're there for them physically, but there are more ways that your kids need you to be there for them. And that is emotionally as well. A lot of parents will say, I listen to my child. They come in at night to talk to me. And I see a lot of parents listening to their kids with their ears, but their eyes are on their computer or on their phone. They're not making eye contact, or they're resting their eyes, right? And so they're sleeping. And the kid yearns for more than that. They yearn for eye contact. They yearn for your face to mirror theirs. When they're excited about something, they want to see you're excited too. When they're concerned about something, they want to see empathy, compassion, to feel that emotion oozing out of you, to feel that match your facial expression, to feel your eyes, to see you leaning forward, being fully engaged, mentally, physically, emotionally, there for them. And whether they can put that into words or not, that's often what they're lacking when they start acting up in other ways, becoming physically violent or accusing you of things, right? Because as you'll see, when someone shuts down, there's this part of us that needs a response from them no matter what it is. And that's why in couples, you will see one couple shut down, and it makes sense. They're overwhelmed. They don't want to make the problem worse. They're like, if I just turn invisible, she can't see me, she can't get mad at me, or he won't know I'm here, like he can't blame me for anything. And they shut down and they withdraw, and that makes their partner even more frantic because they're searching for something, any response. And if they see that you are literally a stone wall, that you are shut down, any response out of you is going to be better than no response. And so they're going to poke at all your weak spots and try to even get an angry response out of you, because an angry response is like, okay, whew, at least they're talking to me and responding to me and not ignoring me anymore. And so a lot of fighting is those desperate pleas for attention, to be attuned to be noticed, and for their emotions to have value and weight, to matter to that other person. And so you'll see that in marriage relationships, you'll see that with kids. And those are so important for our survival. Humans are inherently interdependent beings. We are born into this world incapable of surviving on our own. If you have a child, a baby, a newborn, precious little baby, and leave them on their own, they will die because they cannot feed themselves. They cannot take care of themselves. Even up till the first year, 2, 5 years of their life, like if you left them alone, they would die. They need someone to nurture and to care for them. Not just physically. Research has shown that if you research where a lot of orphans were in orphanages or hospitals and their physical needs were met, they still found unhealthy, on the verge of dying children because they were emotionally and socially neglected. We are social creatures. We need another person to be able to empathize with and connect to. All of that being said, that doesn't suddenly change when you're an adult. There's always going to be a piece of you that longs for connection. And in our day-to-day relationships, normal coping mechanisms will work. If a coworker at work is so annoying, then yeah, you can withdraw from them. You don't have to engage with them every time you see them. That can be a healthy way for you to keep your job and not yell or blow up on that coworker, right? And so you cope with that normal day-to-day situation by withdrawing. However, when we're talking about close relationships, when we're talking about best friends, parents, romantic partners, that normal coping method no longer works because your emotions are intertwined. And how you emotionally respond or don't respond will then affect their emotions because they're interdependent. You rely on each other for support, for motivation, for courage to keep going. And because we're not perfect, and we never will be perfect, yes, fights happen, miscommunication happens, people are hurt, but the important thing is a willingness to continue to invest time and energy into opening yourself up emotionally and attuning to that person. Even when you get burned, even when you burn them, having this relationship of forgiveness and openness and being able to talk and say, I was really scared when you stopped responding to me. I was worried you'd gotten sick of me, that you didn't want me anymore. I felt so anxious, so insecure, so desperate for your love and your attention. I want to know I'm important to you. You know, being able to be vulnerable and have conversations like that is so critical for happy, lasting marriages. And then even with your children, being open to apologizing. If they call you out, Mom, listen to me, instead of saying, I am listening to you, you know, mentally check yourself. What is my body language? Where are my eyes? What is my facial expression? And say, okay, honey, I'm sorry. I'm listening to you now. And being able to emote all of that listening and to give that to them, because that is one of the most important things you can do for your child. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video, and book an appointment with a local therapist. I encourage you to get the help you need, get some guidance and direction, and elevate your life so that it's the level you want it to be at.